It's so nice to be here in Northern Ontario. It's so peaceful. We're fishing out of Marmac Lodge. Beautiful fish. Look at those teeth. That's a beautiful northern.
Canadian Sport Fishing, brought to you in part by Rapala, premium fishing gear crafted from experience. Yamaha Outboards, reliability starts here. Sail, the outdoors superstore. Lucky Strike, all you need is a Lucky Strike.
You know, we're fishing out of Marmac Lodge, and we're about 88 miles north of Chapleau, and we had great walleye fishing yesterday. Beautiful weather. It's been about 70 degrees Fahrenheit, beautiful sunny skies, and I thought today for a change we'd fish for northern pike. So we're just starting here, and what I'll do, Barb, I'm not going to use the net on this one.
Okay.
Maybe I will, but I'm going to get a glove out first.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm figuring he's about 7-8 pounds. He's a good sized pike for a start. So let me get the glove on first. You know, I brought a whole bunch of live release tools. I've got a mouth spreader. I've got a hook out, which is longer than normal pliers. We've got a nice Lucky Strike live release net. Okay, perfect. See if he calms down a little bit before I lift him up. Come on, settle down. The one thing that pike are notorious for, once you net them, they really thrash around, and a lot of times with the oil style nets, they'll get all caught up in the mesh, especially in the cotton or the nylon ones. There's your lure, Barb. Everything looks good. There's a nice pike for starters right here at Esnagi Lake. Nice healthy fish. I think he'd actually be a qualifier for shore lunch, because we are going to have a shore lunch later. But because it's early in the day, we're going to let him go. You know, it's so nice to have the net, because pike a lot of times will play a sleeper when you hold them in your hand. And I'll probably get a chance to do that with some of the bigger fish. And then when you go to release them, they bolt off and they usually soak you. Let's see if I can get this guy just inverted. He wants to go already, obviously. There he is, like that. Here at Esnagi Lake, we are fishing weeds, but they're not real thick, and also some timber that's blown down. So these spinnerbaits will work fine. Now you'll also notice that the top of the spinnerbait has a closed eye. That's really important if you're using a wire leader. So that's what I've got here. This is about an 8-inch long wire leader, and you can see that it has a snap on it. So the closed eye is ideal, because when you put your snap on it, the spinnerbait can't get off. A lot of spinnerbaits have an open eye. And that's great if you're fishing for bass where you tied the line directly to it, because if the spinnerbait ever gets wrapped up around your line, just like this, it'll spin right around because there's no closed eye. But when you're fishing for pike and you want to use a wire leader or a heavier, maybe a titanium leader, it's very important that you get some closed eye spinnerbaits. And the size that I like to start off with is about a 1/2 ounce. Pretty heavy. That means that the 1/2 ounce is going to drop pretty fast, and you're going to have to reel it in quick. And pike like a pretty fast retrieve, especially when you're going through weeds. You know, a portable sonar is really handy if you're coming on a fly-in trip. For example, this is the 596C HD Hummingbird. And you can see that it's compact. It comes with a porta-pack if you want, and you can make it very mobile. So I'm just going to take you through some of the views here. What we're doing here, we're looking for some weeds, because when you're pike fishing, if you find weed beds, you normally find northern pike. So you can see here that we're in about 8.5 feet of water. The surface water temperature is 63, 64 degrees, and there's just very light weed growth on the bottom. So we're doing a combination of looking at the sonar and also looking at the landscape, because you can see behind us that there's a lot of grass growing way out from the shore here. So that's an indicator that there's probably vegetation here. These are nice strands of weeds. So right here, most people would call these cabbage. They're broadleaf pondweed. So we're just going to make a couple of passes to make sure we're in the right spot. The nice thing about this sonar is that you have a real-time screen here. It's called an RTS screen. That's exactly what's happening by the millimicrosecond, and this is the picture. So you can see the weeds here that are coming almost up to the surface. If I go to the next screen, this is my zoom in of the bottom, and then this is just my bigger numbers, so it's easier to read. And this also has a flasher screen. So this is a flasher screen right here. So if I was vertical jigging for walleye, I could actually, if I was anchored, I could actually see my jig and also see any fish that would come on screen. Right now, this is marking the vegetation. There's a strand that came right up to almost 2.5 feet, another one there. Okay, so I'm just gonna go back to my black and white screen and my color screen. So we got lots of weeds here. This looks really good. We may get another pike here.
Naviglue, the ultimate boat shelter system. Sport fishing sweepstakes.
We were on a boat. I was using the worm. The fish got the worm, and he was pulling when I was reeling him in. I was using just a certain spinnerbait. He kept on squiggling, really slimy.
We'd love to hear your fishing story. Go to our website and enter the Naviglue Sport Fishing Sweepstakes. You could win some great prizes.